Hello and happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome back to Pinky Hooks. I am Shania Lancaster, and today, as promised, as requested, I will be doing the tutorial on the Embossed Roundels stitch, okay? Before we get into that, I would like to say if you are new to watching my channel, thank you for stopping by. I hope that what I show you today interests you, especially if you do crocheting or any kind of yarn crafts, okay? Here on my channel, I do crochet. I do have like little conversations or whatever just pops into my little head. And me and my pet rabbit, we like to entertain you, okay? So I hope that you stick around, watch this video, and let's see if it's something that you like. If it is, please give this video a thumbs up and also think about subscribing, okay? Yep. So anyway, as most of you actually surprised me that you actually wanted to see this stitch, the rondelle stitch, the embossed rondelle stitch. So before we get started, let's take a look again at that swatch that I did, that I showed you in my last video. And this is it, okay? I was just like, oh, it's like a 3D stitch. It's pretty cool. If you turn it flat, look, it's almost like a little Cabbage Patch feel, like a little lettuce feel. Look at that. That's pretty cool, right? Yeah. So I did this swatch with Caron Simply Soft. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to use the proper size hook for this. Caron Simply Soft is a 4-ply. You can do, we're just practicing. I would suggest for this tutorial, I would not try a chunky yarn like a 5 or a 6. I would kind of stick with a 3 and a 4 so that you can see, you know, what this actually looks like. Okay, so with this is a 4-row repeat stitch, and don't get intimidated by it because actually I believe that the whole entire stitch is double crochet. So if you know how to do double crochets, you know how to do this, okay? So grab your hook and your yarn and some tea or water, and let's get started. Okay, so this stitch is done in a multiples of 8 plus 5, and then after we do that, we are going to add 2 more chains, okay, for the base chain, okay? So multiples of 8 plus 5, and we're going to add 2, okay? So make your slip knot or your magic ring, whichever you prefer, and get a chain, however long you like it, multiples of 8. So for this tutorial, I'm going to do 24, okay, multiples of 8. And once you've got the length of your chain that you want it in the multiples of 8, remember we need to add 5 more. And once you add your 5, we need to add on 2 more for the base chain. So 1 and 2, okay? So your first row is going to be where you're going to skip 3 chains, which is going to count as your first double crochet. And then we're going to do 1 double crochet into the next all the way to the end, okay? So 1, 2, 3. You skip those 3, so you're starting in your 4th, and you're going to put in 1 double crochet. Now, the yarn that I'm using, I always use these for tutorials, as y'all know. And I always be like, it's splitting, but I just love Caron Simply Soft. Okay. So what I want you to do is do your first row of double crochets, and I'll meet you at the end, okay? Okay, once you get to the end of your first row of doing the double crochets, you're just going to simply turn your work and you're going to chain 3, which is going to count as your first double crochet. So chain 3. Okay, you're going to skip that first stitch, which is this one right here, and you're going to go and do 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So skip this one and put in a double crochet. Okay, and now in the next stitch, that's where we're going to do the embossed rondelle. All right, and basically what you will do is you will start with 1 double crochet into that next stitch, and then you're going to chain 2. So 1 double crochet, okay, and then chain 2. Now, here's the catch. You are going to do exactly what we just did 9 times, okay? The first one we just did. So we're going to do the 1 double crochet, 2 chains, 8 more times into this very same stitch. That's right. You heard me right. You're going to do this 8 more times. So that's another double crochet into that same stitch, chain 2, again another double crochet into that chain stitch, chain 2, go back in. Remember, we're doing it 8 more times. Into the same stitch. Pull some more yarn here. Another double crochet. I know y'all probably like, all of that's not going to fit in there. Yes, it is. Yarn is nothing but fibers, which turns into a fabric. We make it turn into a fabric. Okay, let's see how many we have, because we're going to need 9. Let me pull this out for a minute and count. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need to do it one more time after I chain my 2. 1, 2, and then I'm going to go back in for the last time. Okay, now, so once you finish putting in that 9th double crochet, okay, you still need to do 2 chains. Okay, now this is where the work comes in. You want to pull this up a little bit, okay? Give yourself some slack. You're going to remove your hook. And now what you're going to do is you're going to insert your hook from the back at the top of the very first double crochet that you placed into this one stitch, okay? Let me repeat that again. So find the very first one. Do not do this one, okay? Because that's not in with that group. You need to find that one. There it is right here, okay? And if you're confused, you just might need to count backwards, okay? So you're going to go in the back, from the back. And I'm going to show y'all because I'm just going to do it from under. You want to go in the back at the top, okay? I might have to do it this way. Give me 1 second. Here we go. It has to come through. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the first one that was in the rondelle, not this one. Look at your stitches right here. I came through the back. Now what you're going to do is you're going to come back over and basically put that working loop that you had left hanging out there. Okay? You're going to put that back on your hook and pull through. Okay? And look, there you go. You have made your first embossed rondelle. Yeah. I know. It's a little tricky in the beginning, but it's not that bad, okay? Once you have done that, right? Now we're going to do 1 double crochet into the next 7 stitches, okay? So we are going to resume. So remember, you had all of that in that 1 stitch. You need to move your little rondelle down and start working your next set of double crochets, just regular double crochets, back into that first row below. Okay. Okay, so you're just moving along. You created your first little flower, cabbage, whatever you want to call it. Oops, we're doing a double crochet. Shania. I had to think about it. So that's number 2. Number 3. Number 4. 5. 6. And 7. Okay. So we did 7. So now here we are again. We are ready to do another embossed roundel. So remember, you will put into this next stitch 1 double crochet with a chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to go back in that same stitch 8 more times. Okay? With the double crochet and the chain 2, go back in. Let me count that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 1 more. So another double crochet back into that same stitch with 2 chains. Don't forget about your 2 chains. I want to pull up that slack, take my hook out from the back. Okay, make sure that I find that first double crochet, not this one, this one. You want to insert your hook from the back at the top. So you're coming through that stitch from the back. Put your working loop back on and pull it through. Tighten it up. Okay. And basically we're going to do another 7 double crochets into the next 7 stitches. So you might have to remember what I said, pull your rondelle back so you can make sure that you get that first stitch next to it. Put in a double crochet in the next 7. How many do I have? Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another 7. Oh, a little slippery. There we go. And we are ready to begin. At least, I don't know how many chains you guys made, but if you did the 24 like I did, we are ready for another, and this should be our last roundel on this. Okay, so here we go. In the next stitch, you put in, start with your double crochet, chain 2, work 8 more of this into that same stitch. So double crochet, chain 2, another double crochet, it gets a little tricky at the end because you'll tell, you know, the end of your row gets in the way. You just fold it back and keep on moving. I think, let's see how many that is. I have, hold on. Okay, not that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need to do 2 more. That's the 8. And 9. One more double crochet. Don't forget your chain 2 at the end of your 9th. Okay, so pull up a loop, take your hook off, find that first double crochet. Again, I cannot stress how important it is that you make sure that you put your hook in the back of the right double crochet. Do not put it here. You go in the back and you're basically finding that first double crochet in the series and you're putting it through. Now I know I'm holding my it's almost like I feel like I'm carving an apple the way I'm holding it to get it in there. Okay, but once you got that, put your hook back through your working loop and pull that working loop through, close it up, and now let's just take it home. Push your rondelle back so that you can make sure that you get in that first double crochet next to it. Okay, which is really weird because here we are working right there. So I need to go here. Here we go. And you just do a double crochet all the way to the very end. Okay, and here's that end. Make sure you get it in that end. At the top of that turning chain, your last double crochet, and let's take a look. Flip it over. Oh my goodness, what have you guys done? Did y'all do that? You did, didn't you? Oh boy, look at you. Okay, I I had to pause the camera because I was just like, I think I kind of was just like, look at y'all, look what y'all did and all this kind of stuff. And then I got turned around. I was just like, wait, am I on the bottom? So, okay, here we are. So you turn your work and now we will begin the third row. So the third row is simply nothing but double crochet. So you will chain up 3, which counts as your first double crochet, right? You do not crochet into this first stitch. You will skip this. Oh, sorry. Skip this stitch, and now you begin in your next stitch with 1 double crochet all the way down to the very end. Yep, that's it. So far, as you can see, it's fairly simple because you see that you're really not doing some fancy stitch. You're doing what you've always been doing, because by now, and I'm not talking about a beginner crocheter. I'm talking about intermediate, advanced, expert, of course. Okay, so right here, when you get to this stitch right here, okay, turn your work towards you. So don't get intimidated. So I didn't do that tight enough when I closed it, but you want to work a double crochet into, or you can go through rather, because you want to go under. That is a double, that's a stitch actually. Okay, so there you go. And then turn it towards you and you put one in and the next one. You're not missing a heartbeat. All you're doing is 1 double crochet. I forgot what I was saying before. I stopped right there. But anyway, what I was saying is there's nothing really scary about this. Not really. Okay, you going right along. Okay, turn your work towards you. Okay, there we go. I had to say, I was like, is this the one that was right there? See, this one was closed up tight. That first one wasn't closed up tight, so I kind of had to go through it. But this one is closed up tight. So that's the way it's supposed to look. And there it is. That's 1 stitch. And if you turn your work towards you, right, there's the next one. Focus. Okay. Okay. So you turn it towards you, and there it is. Go under both loops. Oh, God, I'm sorry, y'all. I know y'all probably like, Shine, why do you continue to use this for a tutorial when it splits all the time? Because I like it. I'm sorry. There we go. Okay. Again, so you can see your next stitch. I closed it up very tightly as I could. So there we go. Okay. Make sure you're going under both loops. I had to, oh gosh. Ugh. Here we go. It gets a little tricky to work under it, but again, with a little bit of practice, you'll get used to it when you have to work over it, or on top of that next row, should I say. Okay, and of course, your turning chain, put your last double crochet into the top of your turning chain. Okay, and there you have row 3, which is nothing but double crochets. Okay, so again, we turn our work. Okay, so again, we turn our work, and now we're on the fourth row. The fourth row is repeating the second row. Okay, so, well, actually, we're going to do our embossed roundels on the fourth row. You want to start by chaining up 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so on the fourth row, what you're doing is you skip this one, right? Sorry about that, folks. Skip this double crochet, and then you're going to do 1 double crochet into the next 7. So I said the fourth row was like the third row. The third row, you actually, you skip this one, and then you did it into the next 3 stitches. But here on the fourth row, you're going to do 1 double crochet into the next 7. Okay, because basically what we're trying to do is get kind of like a zigzag, you know, like they're not going to be lined up. Your the embossed stitches, they're not going to be lined up. They're kind of like a checker type pattern. Okay, so here we go. 1 double crochet into 7 stitches. You skip that first stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Again, now we're about to do our rondelle. So in that next stitch, we put 9 of these. Remember, you'll say 1 double crochet, 2 chains, 1, 2. Go back and do 8 more times. 1, 2. Now I want y'all to keep going, because I already know what everybody out there is saying, like, this is wrong. No, it's not, because I already know what your concern is. Just keep going, because I'm going to explain it. Okay, let's see how many that is. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 1 more. Put in my chain 2, and now pull up a loop. Take your hook out. Go from the back. Okay, find that very first double crochet that you put, go from the back, insert your hook through the top of that work. Okay, through the top. I realized that I wasn't putting it under both loops in the very first one. Put your hoop back on, your loop back on. Okay, and pull it through and pull it tight. Okay, there's your rondelle. Now, I know we're going to stop for a minute, because I'm pretty sure that what y'all saying is, Cheyenne, this can't be right, because your rondelles are underneath. We're on this top. You're not actually working on the opposite side. Look, you're working from behind. All you got to do is flip your work. You see? Now put your rondelle that you just created down. You see what I'm saying? That's why I kept stopping. I was just like, wait, what? Because I have not done it in a while. Okay? I've not done it in a while. So that's where the trickiness is. And when I created this swatch, right? Trust me, I was thinking the same thing the first time. Again, I think I did this like, I don't know, 2 months ago. And already I forgot. That's why I was just like, wait, what? How are we on the bottom? It looks like we're on the bottom. We're just working on the way you turn your work. You're working from underneath. Does that make sense? You know? So here we go. So again, you finish that one. Okay. You need to find the next double crochet. Okay. That's going to be it. You're going to do 7. Okay. So let me see. Yeah, you're doing 7. So we're just going to repeat it. I just wanted to make sure I had that right. 7 double crochets into the next 7 stitches. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. 6 and 7. And here we go again. Now, before we start that next embossed stitch, you see how it is? This is what I'm talking about. It's not directly under it. No, it's not directly under it. It's kind of like, it's going to go like that. Okay? So here we go. Let's just make sure we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And now, remember, we're doing 9 of these. So that's a double crochet and chain 2 into the same stitch. Okay, let me count. I'm horrible at counting in my head. I just like to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more. Into that same stitch. Don't forget your chain 2 at the end. And now draw up a loop. Excuse me. Find the first one. Come through the back. It has to go through the back. Ooh. It's so tricky. Come on. There we go. Put your loop back on and pull it through. There you go. Bend that out the way and then do your next 7 double crochets. Okay. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here we go. And this is going to be the last one for this row. Okay. So start your embossed stitch. A double crochet, 2 chains, and repeat 8 more times into that same stitch. think one more time. Let me see. Let's see. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I always just do 8 and I only have to put 1. I don't know what's up with that. I wish I had like a little robot that could count it out loud for me watching it, but then that might just be creepy. Okay, so take out your hook, go from underneath, find that very first double crochet that was in that series. See, I almost messed up because I was about to go into the second one. And there it is, up at the top. I struggle with this, as y'all can see, because it has to be from behind. Because I'm telling you right now, if you're like, Shai, I'm just going to do mine from the top, you're going to end up confusing yourself because it's not going to sit the way it needs to. Trust me, I know because I already tried it. Okay, and now we finish out just in double crochet. So again, you will have to move your embossed stitch over so you can make sure that you see that first double crochet. Okay, or that first stitch to put your double crochet in. Sorry. Yep, and we are coming to the end of row 4. And then don't forget your top of your turning chain. You put in a double crochet. Woo! Voila! All right. I don't even know where my scissors are. So let's turn it over. And that's what the embossed stitch looks like. And then you can open them up, you know, because they'll curl up, you know. But remember, you got to block your work. You know, they look a little funky until you start, you know, shaping them or whatever. And there you have it. Let's zoom out a little bit. There you go. There you have it. That's right. You did it. You did that. Phew. We did it. We did it. There you go. The embossed roundel, that's ROUNDLS stitch. Okay. Now, I think in the beginning I said this was a 4-row repeat. It's actually not. It's really a 3-row repeat because what you're doing is you're repeating rows 2, right? When you first learn how to do the rondelle stitch, and then you're repeating the 3rd row, which is double crochets all the way across, and then the 4th row is the rondelle stitch again, but it is not going to start on stitch number 4. It will start after you do your first 7 double crochets so that it gives, you know, look how they're sitting in between, you know, each other. Okay. Now, again, I know they're all crunched up, you know, but you have to like just work your pattern and then you'll block it or stretch them out or whatever. Yep. And yeah, I mean, I know I had to stop the camera at least, what did I do? 4 times. I had to stop the camera 4 times while I was teaching y'all because I was just like, I had not done it in, like I said, almost 2 months. And I was just like, wait, what? Because I remember that is what tripped me up the first time. And I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to say something when we first started the 3rd row, which is the, you know, double crochets going all the way across. Because y'all saw I had problems. I stopped for a minute when we finished the 2nd row with the actual embossed stitches. And I was just like, wait, what? I'm at the bottom. And I forgot, like I really had to stop the camera. I was like, wait a minute, what's happening? You're not at the bottom. you are literally just working underneath, or most of you may say, no, Shine, what we were doing was working the wrong, what they call the wrong side, right? But it's like, well, I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think, because it's like being in a fun house. You know how you see the mirrors and you're really not sure, like, is that really somebody standing in front of me, or are they all the way over there? You don't know, and I mean, I can't see anybody doing a whole entire, I don't know, like a whole, how can I say it? I was about to say sheet or a stretch of this. Like, that's going to be your pattern. When I look at this, I'm with you guys. For most of you who said in the comment, you were just like, oh, that will make a nice border. If anybody plans on doing a whole entire, like, you're like, I'm gonna make a little cardigan or a sweater, and I'm gonna have the whole entire front. I mean, I guess you could, but whew, yeah. Yeah, but I do want to do something with this, like, like on a border myself, because it's so cool. It's so cool. Look at that. It's like, and then I did it in yellow. So it's like little popcorns, or yay. I just think it's really cool. But there you have it, folks. Yep. You spoke. I heard. And there you have it. The embossed roundel stitch. Okay, so thank you for tuning in. And basically, this is one of many, like, different or intricate, like, stitches that I had planned on bringing to you, for 2022. Because at this point, I mean, there's nothing wrong when we do patterns that have double crochets and half double crochets. Lord knows I'm a half double crochet junkie, but I think that it's time for us to come out of our comfort zones. I know a lot of people like to tune into YouTube for quick projects. That's how people get hooked on somebody, when you say how to crochet the easy, how to crochet the quick, 2-hour blanket or something like that. And that's cool. But, if you really want to up your game in the crochet, and goes for my knitters, I don't knit, but the knitters know what I'm talking about too. Sometimes, we kind of got to step outside our comfort zone, right? And do something totally different. And as you can see, when you probably first looked at it, when I showed it, you probably was thinking, ooh, you wanted to learn it, but you're like, oh, but as you can see, it was nothing but double crochet. We didn't do anything else. Nothing else. We didn't even do a slip stitch to close up the rondelle. All you did was double crochets, and then of course, your chains. That's it. Yep. So thanks again for tuning in, and let me know what y'all think of this stitch in the comments below. Let me know how it turns out. Tell me if I did something wrong, that y'all think I did something wrong, or whatever. Point it out. I don't care what you do, but just leave me a comment. And I hope that if you guys like this or whatever, I really hope that y'all post back and say, hey, Pinky, I did a project and this is what I did with that stitch. Because I would love to know what you guys are doing with this stitch, right? Yep. So again, yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.